After months of rigorous and independent scientific review, the Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, authorized, and the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, recommended the COVID-19 vaccine for children ages 5 through 11.
Say what you want about America, land of the free, home of the brave. We got some dumbass motherfuckers floating around this country. Dumbass motherfuckers, you know? Yeah.
I have to answer this phone, all right? I'm here.
After putting himself through college at Yale and the University of Michigan, Carson became a resident at Johns Hopkins University. By 33 years old, he became the youngest and first African-American director of pediatric neurosurgery. And in 1987, Carson became the first surgeon to successfully separate twins joined at the back of the head.
How many people here remember your birthday? Okay, I think it's unanimous. What did your brain have to do for you to respond to that question? Well, first of all, the sound waves had to leave my lips, travel through the air, enter your external auditory meatus, travel down to your tympanic membrane, set up a vibratory force, which travel across the ossicles of the middle ear to the over and round window, setting a vibratory force in the inner lip, which mechanically distorted the microcilia, converting mechanical energy to electrical energy, which traveled across the cochlear nerve to the cochlear nucleus at the pontomedullary junction, from there to the superior olivary nucleus, sitting bilaterally at the brainstem to the lemniscus, to the inferior colliculus, and the medial geniculate nuclei, across the thalamic radiations to the posterior temporal lobes, beginning auditory processing. From there to the frontal lobes, coming down the tract of Victor's jury, retrieving the memory from the medial hippocampal structure of the memory bodies, back to the frontal lobes to start the motor response at the bed cell level, coming down the corticospinal tract, across the internal capsule into the cerebral peduncle, descending down to the cervical medullary decussation, into the spinal growth gray matter, synapsing there, going out to the neuromuscular junction, stimulating the nerve and the muscle. So you can raise your hand. And that's the simplified version of what your brain had to do.
Dr. Carson, you headed the pediatric neurosurgery unit at Johns Hopkins. Do you agree with the CDC's decision to vaccinate children 5 to 11 with the Pfizer vaccine?
Absolutely not. The fact of the matter is the mortality rate for children from COVID-19 is 0.025, which is very similar to the rate for seasonal flu. And we haven't been for years and years going through all these things for seasonal flu. Plus, we don't know what the long-term impact of these vaccines is. So this is really sort of a giant experiment. Do we want to put our children at risk when we know that the risk of the disease to them is relatively small, but we don't know what the future risks are? Why would we do a thing like that? It makes no sense whatsoever. And also, you know, getting to this whole ideal of natural immunity. There have been a number of studies that have shown that it is very, very effective. You look at the Cleveland Clinic study, 1,300 of their healthcare workers who had been previously infected, none of them got reinfected. So I know the CDC is coming out with their recommendations and trying to spin things their way. But, you know, we ought to look at all of the data.
Shit, Negro, that's all you had to say.